Tweak TV. My name is Jacqueline Marie, and I am founder, stylist, and business strategist of Tweak Style. And I am here today to talk about a really great topic, something that I truly want to share with you to make your life a little less overwhelming and have you really find the joy in your business and in your career life and personal life. And I think this is really helpful for anyone, really. So let's tune in. Today we're going to be talking about scheduling and what is a great strategy for creating a schedule that works for you. How many of you have bought all of the day planners, passion planners, these planners, target planners, even used phone apps? I have so many on my phone for like scheduling, calendars. And I am a sucker for notebooks too, and I'm a sucker for cool stationery. And I've used so many different calendars and so many different scheduling, goal, task lists, and everything you can pretty much think of I've tried. One of the things I've discovered, especially with my coaching and especially with my clients, I've discovered a way to help myself and help them really achieve a great balance of work and life and accomplishing your goals at the same time at a really healthy pace. Today I'm going to share with you a strategy that I use in my coaching sessions with some of my clients. And it is super fun to do if you take about an hour of your time every 2 weeks and you sit down and you really try to map out this schedule strategy that I have. Here are the 5 things to do now to create a schedule that really works for you. Number 1, create a vision for your perfect week. Really, how does that look? What are you doing? How many hours are you spending on each category of your life, whether it's health, business, marketing, networking, just admin day to day, even like cleaning the house or spending time with family and friends. Personal time, you know, we all need that, and I think that's super important. So how does that look for you in your perfect ideal week? And I really want you to sit down with this and dream a little bit. You can even create a paragraph kind of describing that week if you're super creative and you like to write. You can bullet it, you can section off in your little doodling notebook of like, here's my health, here's 2 times a week I go to yoga, or this is what I eat every morning for breakfast. Anything like that that's really helpful for you to visualize your ideal week. And this is really important because I want to make sure to set you up for success. So if your ideal week is that you have time to spend with loved ones on the weekend, but currently your schedule is making you work on the weekends, it's really gonna kind of work against each other in terms of your productivity, your happiness, and your overall quality of putting your best foot forward in all areas of your life. So I'm really gonna try to help you create a good balance of your ideal lifestyle mixed in with getting stuff done. So that's number 1, create a vision. Number 2, I want you to write a master list of your business goals. Write a master list of your business goals for 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months. And I want you to just write down those lists and separate them into those 1 month, 3 month, 6 months so that you can really be realistic about your short-term and long-term goals. Now, most people would say that 6 months is not long-term, but I would definitely disagree because we're constantly growing and changing, and how can we possibly know what's going to happen in 5 years or 2 years or 3 years? So just start small here. So when you're doing this, I really want you to think of realistic business goals that you know you can achieve that are still kind of challenging you a little to be committed, to put the effort in, to focus on. So don't try to pick goals that are really easy you could do overnight, you could do right now, today. Pick something that's really gonna work towards the big picture, something that you have to work a little bit at each week. When you're blocking out this time for all of the above, for your ideal lifestyle and for your business goals, one thing I want you to do is work your way backwards. So if you have a goal to do a website for your business, I want you to consider all the steps that it takes to create a website. But I want you to start from the website is done, it is launched, people are visiting it, it is something that I love, it's a great piece of work, right? And it really communicates what I do and my services and just totally visualize what that looks like when it's done. Then you want to break it down into each point. So in order for it to be done, in order for you to feel like it's done and completed, then what do you need? You're going to need content, you're going to need images, visuals, you want to drive traffic, so you're going to need marketing and social media. The other thing is you really want to make sure that it's advocating for your services and for your business culture and brand of your company too. So make sure all those things align. So there's going to be a lot of things involved in here. So maybe you can break these up into pieces, delegate out some of those tasks, but really schedule in every single week. At least have a couple of hours that you're working towards that big goal, whether it's meeting with someone to get the ball rolling, a web developer to get a quote, and you really want to work your way backwards, right? So once you do that, you'll know how much time each week you have to commit to reach your end goal by the 3 month, 6 month mark to have your website done. Then number 3, I want you to block out time for all of the above. Okay, so I do this every 2 weeks, and this is why I recommend this, because every week, every day, especially as an entrepreneur or a busy go-getter, things are changing, things are coming up, and you want to make sure that you are reevaluating every time your schedule to make sure that you can, if you fail, you can get up and try again, you can reapply, you can readjust. This is super important in your growth and setting yourself up for success. Also, you want to keep your goals really super fresh in your mind, and you want to keep your schedule really fresh in your mind. So 2 weeks at a time is really all we can remember and hold in our heads in terms of what we have to do day to day. Also consider that you might have a side hustle and a full-time job. You might have just a full-time job and you have all these hobbies. And so you really want to block out time for all of those ahead of time. Before your business goals, before your side projects, block out time for the things you already have a consistent commitment to, like a 9-to-5 job, like a weekend job, or even something you do every Tuesday. Maybe you're going to a class or anything like that. So number 3, I want you to block out that time. And block out the time frame in which you only want to work in. So if you only want to work 9 to 3, you don't want to block out time to be available at 8 a.m. if that's not your ideal schedule. So I want you to do that first. Those are the first foundation items of your schedule. Then I want you to do number 4. I want you to schedule in some really important stuff that's really going to fuel you and empower you to put your best foot forward in all areas of your life. Now for me, I have to have creative time. I have to schedule a day when I am just free to be creative and free to just create stuff with no agenda, no expectations in mind, no strategy. I'm just creating something. This is where the magic can happen sometimes and sometimes not. So schedule creative time. Then I want you to also schedule retreat time. So retreat time is super important. You need to have you can call it a retreat time, that's what I like to call it. I go on city retreats every once in a while to just take a little break and unplug. I will be featuring a blog on that soon, so you can get some inspiration on that. But so schedule a retreat, schedule a staycation, schedule some sort of yoga class, some sort of way to totally unplug. Then I want you to try to look out for days where you can do marketing. You have marketing days, you can have business development days, and I really want you to be specific on these days. These are days we do all marketing. We're going to put our best efforts on marketing. You can schedule out all your posts on this day. You can really go forward, learn a new marketing strategy, learn a new technology that really help your company, or you can just implement, and get things moving in your business marketing. The other thing I would recommend is scheduling business development days, like I just said. And I love business development days. They're super fun because these are days you can meet with people, like potential collaborations, things that you might not even know are possible until you get into these meetings. And you can really dream with your business. You can also learn on new strategies on how to grow, go to events where you're learning things, partner up with somebody and talk about ways to help each other grow. The next thing I would recommend for this number 4 of scheduling these little bit of times for different projects and categorizing them, the next thing I would recommend is quarterly reviews. So I would highly recommend scheduling quarterly reviews. My clients find this super, super helpful because every quarter in a year, they schedule a time to go on like a work retreat, a mini retreat, where they get to stop, reevaluate their progress, their failures, what their audience is saying, the feedback from the audience, and they really get to learn a ton about what worked and what didn't. Then they also get to revisit some really cool ideas that happened during that quarter that maybe they didn't have time to implement, or it wasn't a right timing in a season, or they weren't quite sure about it. So these quarterly reviews are a great way to mastermind with. You can do it with a team, your tribe, yourself. You can do it with family members or mentors that you highly trust and who have really seen you grow in your business. This is a great time. It's also, quarterly reviews are also really great to schedule in if you schedule them every quarter, so that ends up being every 3 months. You schedule these in, and what ends up happening is you are going in your quarter and all these ideas come up, and if you're like me, like we have all these ideas that come up in our heads, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to do this, I want to do this. And what ends up happening is you just stop yourself and you say, you know what? I'm going to put it in my ideas book. I love journals. And I'm going to put it in my ideas book, and I'm going to revisit it during my quarterly review. And I'm going to really take some thoughtful time to see if this is a good fit and make sure that I can plan this properly so it's set up for success. So I highly recommend those quarterly reviews. So after number 4, after you scheduling these certain designated days for marketing and quarterly reviews and all these things on the schedule, you know you're taken care of, you know that you don't need to do every single thing in your business and wear every single hat in your business every single day, then I want you to do number 5. And whether for your business, whether for your personal life, your busy career path, and your go-getter goals, I want you to do this one thing, and that is commit. Commit to your schedule. Commit to that free time that you need for yourself. Commit to that ideal hours of the day that you want to work. Commit to having that ideal lifestyle and work-life balance. If you don't commit and you deviate, and when someone asks you if you're free and you say yes, even though you know in your heart and in your gut that you really needed that time to just unwind for 20 minutes, or you know that you had planned this day to be for marketing, and you know that this day was meant for a creative time, well, you also need to prioritize the fact that these times that you strategize and put thought and plan into have a reason behind that, and that is to put your best foot forward in your life. If you are taking away from all these different areas and this ideal schedule that you already knew and already agree would make you super happy and successful, if you start to deviate from that, then that's what you're doing. You're going away from the success. You're going away from the happiness and the ideal lifestyle that you deserve. And not to mention, we want you, your audience, and me, I want you to put your best foot forward 150%. I don't want to walk into a room and have someone who's 50% there because they're tired or they have their mind on marketing because that's what they had scheduled for the day. So do yourself a favor, commit to your schedule, give it a shot for 2 weeks. I'm going to give you a download with a link below, and this download is going to be a template for your schedule, and this is really going to help you to test it out for 2 weeks and see the changes and the awesomeness that happens when you commit to your ideal lifestyle. So if you have any questions about scheduling, or maybe you have issues with your 2-week schedule, I'm happy to talk through them. Just comment below and share with your friends if you think they have a lot of overwhelm with their schedule and kind of balancing everything out and prioritizing their work-life balance. Definitely share this video with them, because I think that for me, once this clicked, it really, really helped me, and it's very invaluable. So I hope this helps you. I hope this inspires you. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you tuning in for Tweak Tuesday. It's one of my new favorite days of the week now, ever since I started, and I really look forward to having you come back.